Today we sit down with Corey and Akila Carter of Verbal Connections and discuss how communication is vital in our everyday relationships. Also, Philly artist Gabe Tiberino comes to the studios and has brought along some amazing pieces. You don't want to miss it. This is Straight No Chaser. Let's serve it up. Good day, family, and welcome to another episode of Straight No Chaser. I'm your host and blog tender, Marquise Lufton. Here on Straight No Chaser, we begin every show with the good news, so let's go out to our general assignment reporter, Joe Sewell, to see what's going on. Joe?
Do you like fitness, fun, and music? Well, after visiting Kyle Clark, that's just what we got. From getting down to getting your groove on, Kyle Clark shows you just how his company is going to become the face of Philadelphia, one dance move at a time.
A 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1.
Just So Street Dance Theater is spreading positivity through dance.
Our artistry does not begin until we stop thinking. Listen up, folks, listen up. Your artistry does not begin until you stop thinking. That's why we get you nice and tired. So now you can't think. Your body's too tired to think. It's going to react to what it hears. Yes? It's kind of sort of like primal instincts, like self-preservation.
Still only a couple years old, Kyle Clark and his wife Danita have seen this dance company grow in ways they were not expecting.
We started practicing together, and eventually we were like, well, we want to do some work, and it was for a showcase that we wanted to do, so we did the piece for the showcase, and everybody loved it and said, well, you should be doing more.
And more is what the Clarks did by first starting the Funky Soul Fundamentals dance class. This is a bi-monthly dance workshop that focuses on pop locking, whacking, and educating dancers.
What Funky Soul Fundamentals is, it's a bi-monthly workshop where we provide quality education on the foundation and the technique of house and other funk styles under the umbrella of hip-hop.
And then the Clarks stepped things up by creating the Just So Street dance team.
And Just Soul means just I, just me. In a world where everybody, seems to be conforming to things, I wanted to find my individuality and be able to express that. A 1 and 2, a 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Nice. All right, here we go.
By encouraging your personal growth and embracing your God-given gifts, Kyle Clark not only aims to mold flawless dancers, but also to be a mentor.
What I love about Just Soul is that it has a great balance between artistic development and a physical and technical challenge, as well as educational growth. They encourage you to find, take whatever you've gone through in your life and take whatever, whoever you are as an individual and use that in your dance.
Breaking away from his background as a technical classical dancer, Kyle Clark hopes to spread positivity through rhythmic moves across the city of brotherly love and beyond.
Because I spent so much time as a technical classical dancer, fitting and being a canvas, and for the first time I had the urge to be the artist, so that's where Just Soul comes around. Just Soul, just me, just I.
As a believer in Christ, I believe that, we were given a gift, and, once you have a gift, you don't put that candlelight under the bed. You spread that gift and that knowledge so that others can too experience the joy that you've learned.
The Just So Street Dance Music Theater meets every Wednesday at 7 p.m. inside the Community Education Center on Lancaster Avenue. This is Joe Sewell for Straight No Chaser.
Hello and welcome back to Straight No Chaser. This is Wit on the Street, and today I had the opportunity to speak with Buddy Rock of Buddy Rock and the Heartbreak Kids to discuss their positive music, their album, and their upcoming tour. So let's head on inside and get the scoop.
Who is Buddy Rock? Well, so Buddy Rock started. So back in the day, me and Alex, we used to sing in a singing group. It was kind of like a Boys to Men type, like a Latin Boys to Men type thing. And I was called Buddy Love back then. Didn't really want to be considered like a pretty boy type thing, so I changed it to Buddy Rock. Did my solo thing for a little bit. Now we have you know, I did a little bit of production stuff, so it was kind of like a Latin freestyle kind of vibe, and then, you know, just bought the band, started singing with Alex again, and then we changed it. So
the best way I can describe this is it's a little a modern pop R&B group with very, very strong ties to old school sounds and themes.
I don't think there's any. I've never heard a band that's doing the kind of mixture that we're doing. It's, you know, most bands are kind of like indie hipster rock, which is really cool, you know, in its own right. Then you have the hip hop guys, which are really cool in their own right. But we're taking it right down the middle, and we're going down a path that really you haven't heard too much.
We use classic setups, however, we use them differently. So we'll throw a Latin rhythm onto a jazzy R&B groove.
So you can come in, whether we're singing a ballad, whether we're singing an up-tempo song, you can go in there and dance. Slow, you know, we got slow jams, we got the high energy joints, and it's always a positive setting.
Some songs have come out of situations, whether it be, you know, a sad breakup or, you know, a loss in family or something like that. Other songs have come out of a fun idea. I have a problem writing songs that don't pertain to love and heartbreak. If you need a song that's about love and heartbreak, I can pump one out in like 30 seconds. It's just something that I grew up on, listening to classic R&B, listening to classic Spanish music.
You know, I also really like singing like pop music, the stuff that we do now, like pop R&B, because, you know, that gets the crowd jumping. And, you know, while I can go and do my really deep stuff, I can do that on my own, you know, and still be satisfied, but then still play the pop music, and then, you know, have everybody in the crowd, you know, dancing in one song, and then everybody just listening and crying in the next, you know.
We'll make you laugh, we'll make you cry, we'll make you dance a lot. We'll make you... we haven't made anybody twerk yet, but we're working on that.
So when you go to Buddy Rock concert, you are celebrating life, you are celebrating music, you are celebrating culture, you are celebrating America. Maybe that was a little dramatic, but you know, that's what it is. That's about it. BuddyRockHBK.com. BuddyRochBK.com. Or you can look us up on YouTube or Facebook, Buddy Rock 1212. That's BUDDYROC 1212.
I might as well have cheated on you. As much as you accuse me of cheating, I might as well have lied to you. As much as you accuse me of lying.
Hello and thank you and welcome to another episode of Straight No Chaser, a show that looks beyond sexy headlines and a vehicle for positive media here in Philadelphia. Family, today I want to discuss a national pandemic that has been glazed over for years, if not decades. Our ignorance as a nation to avoid such a pandemic has hurt our future and maybe the very demise of our nation. No, I'm not talking about the Ebola virus, which to date has only killed one American. With 4 confirmed cases and only 2 of those cases originating in the United States. Which is funny because with 16 confirmed flu deaths in Pennsylvania alone, you don't see much of an uproar. But you know, that's none of my business. Family, I'm talking about the national pandemic of cheating. I mean, cheating has gotten so bad in our country that the teachers are helping the students cheat now.
Good evening. There's no harder lesson than the one taught today to 8 Atlanta educators by an angry judge after they were convicted on charges typically reserved for mobsters. He threw the book at them, teachers, principals among them.
These kids are winning.
Wow, winning?
But seriously, family, cheating is so much of a trending topic, they made a TV show about it.
Come on now. Now, ladies.
I just don't want to get hurt again. I'm tired of getting hurt.
What's going on? This is my boyfriend for a year.
I don't know who she is.
You don't know who I am? Will you quit saying that? You don't know who I am? Do you not know who Zane is either?
Oh wow, they're never getting back together. And this disease has even plagued our elected officials.
Democratic Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey tonight facing an indictment. 14 counts. 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of violating Travel Act, 8 counts of bribery, 3 counts of honest services fraud, 1 count of making false statements.
And even plagued America's sweethearts.
Was infidelity in a marriage, yes, on both parts. Both of us cheated on each other, period. When two people that love each other as much as we love each other, when they start drifting apart, different people come into the situation, into the scenario, and we make mistakes. People make mistakes. We're human.
Not that there's any surprise there. I mean, anybody would cheat on Bobby Brown, but this cheating needs to be addressed because now more than ever, it's affecting the common man.
Today's announcement that Bottom Dollar Food will be shutting down its 66 locations, including the 46 stores in the Philadelphia region, had shoppers surprised.
Our homes and our neighborhoods.
People who are in any type of real estate development, they have taken over neighborhoods where they had large amounts of African Americans who were low income.
Right.
And they're trying to push them out by raising property taxes.
And even our education system.
We had cut all assistant principals, all guidance counselors, all music, all sports, all secretaries.
24 schools were closed. More than 4,000 employees were laid off.
But where do we start, you may ask? Well, it begins by paying less attention to stuff like this.
Hey, Dirty, what? That girl right there, she make me say,
I like the way you do that right there.
Be less amazed by stuff like this.
Oh, give you a little butt action.
Okay, first off, she's not even doing it right. And I get it, it's an old white lady with a little bit of soul, but come on. My neighbor is a little old white lady that can do the robot. You want to talk about impressive? You never seen the robot until you see Miss Sue Ann drop something proper. But let's address this cheating and get better, America, because we're only getting dumber.
I just can't handle it. Bloody ridiculous. Americans are all crazy.
What do you think of America? Well, they think we ride kangaroos, so I believe they ride fat people.
I think they're great.
I like America.
It's a cool place to go. It's exciting and different.
It's big.
Bacon and giant pancakes.
I know they're very competitive with their sport. I think Australia's a lot smarter than America.
And our secret is out on how dumb we're actually getting. I'm Marquise Lupton, and that's Straight No Chaser. Hello and welcome back to Straight No Chaser. I'm your host, Marquise Lupton. I'm here with Corey and Akila Carter of Verbal Connections. Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Hey, good.
All right, so Verbal Connections, can you tell us a little bit about it? What is it?
It's a social gathering where men and women come together to have open discussions about relationships, about dating, about marriage, sex, life issues, you name it, we talk about it. It's a really positive event, and it's a necessary tool that can be used to strengthen relationships in the community.
And what kind of things do you have at your events? If I'm sitting at home and want to know, hey, what does Verbal Connections do?
Well, of course we have conversation, but it's not just a conversation party. We have live entertainment from some of the area's most talented artists. You know, we have live band. We also have food. You know, we have catered food. We have, I know at one of our first events, we prepared the meal ourselves.
The way we do the event is each guest writes on a piece of paper a question, something that might be pressing to them. So say, for example, something was happening in your relationship and you wanted to get others' opinions on it. You will write it down on a piece of paper, put it in a box anonymously, and we will pick the question and discuss it as a group. And that way you can get a different opinions and open dialogue between other people. And sometimes it's helpful for that in relationships to hear, because someone might say exactly the same thing your partner is saying, but coming from another person, it might be more easily digestible if you have trust issues in your relationship and things like that. And it's not just limited to relationships with romantic relationships. You know, questions can be about education, politics. We really have the gamut, you know, of things that people can put in the box, you know. So that's pretty much how it works and how it sparks up those conversations in our events.
We started in our living room. You know, we started in our living room. We live in a small row home in Philadelphia, and I think we capped out at about 50 or 60 people. And then our first public event, you know, we attracted over 200 people. So, you know, the numbers have been growing, and the feedback has been nothing but positive. So at our last event, we had a blindfold food tasting, and we also had a surprise speaker who happened to be HIV positive. And also we had an individual who struggled with homelessness in the past. So a portion of the proceeds from that last event got donated to a drop-in center that provided resources for HIV, for homelessness, for mental health issues. So at each event, we want to continue to make a positive impact in the community. Like I said, it's not just a party. You know, we're trying to give back to our community as well.
When you go to these conversation parties, nobody's telling you what to do and how to think. It's about what information you can accept from what other people are saying and how that can apply to your life in your own way and help you, you know. And for everybody in the room, they're going to take something different away from that event, you know. Sometimes people go into the community and think that they need to tell people what to do from their own perspectives, but sometimes it's about self-help and opening communication so that people can interpret information and use it to their own benefit, you know. So I think that, you know, my background is psychology, and I strongly believe in, you know, everybody having their own way of finding themselves and getting to a better place mentally and spiritually and physically. And I think that hopefully from our events that can help, you know.
Currently trying to negotiate a contract with a Philadelphia public school, charter school rather, so whereas we can implement Verbal Connections as an after-school program. All right, and that's looking pretty good. Looks like we're going to get the deal. You know, I'll speak it into existence, and eventually I would like to just expand, you know, to different schools and, you know, just create that forum for adolescents, you know. And also younger adults too, you know, while they're still impressionable, you know, and that's a way. Again, that's our way of giving back. Yeah, we have a website. It's www.verbalconnections.com. Also, they can follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's at CConnect360, and Akila.
My Instagram is Akila, AKILAH. Itan, ITAN, at Instagram, and Facebook is Akila Carter or Akila Itan, which is my handmade jewelry line.
We appreciate you guys for coming by. Hopefully you can come back again. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome back. I'm standing here next to Gabe Tiberino, visual artist, graphic artist, regular artist. Whatever you want, he could probably paint it up for you. Gabe, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, doing well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Oh, well, I'm a visual artist, and I'm born and raised in Philly, and I've been doing artwork ever since I was a baby, like as young as I can remember, like 3 years old. And I really have I developed a skill for doing portraits at a very young age. I started really capturing people that were hanging out at my house, you know, like friends of the family, and my family really noticed that I had the skill for capturing portraits at a young age. So they set me up an art show when I was 7 years old on South Street, and I had a whole whole gallery full of portraits I did of people, and it sold out, and I was like,
wow.
That was one of my biggest inspirations. Once I saw that, you know, I pretty much wanted to be an artist ever since, and I never really sold out in a show like that again, but not yet. But
all right, well, that seems like a really good start. How old were you at that time?
Like 7 years old.
Okay, so then you got your start early at 7. So from age 8, 9, 10, how have you seen your artwork grow from that point up until now?
You know, pretty much like every year, just I feel like I just keep getting better. Like from age 7 up through grade school and high school, pretty much getting better every year. And you know, I entered a lot of different contests in school. I would always do good at that.
So what are some of your most famous pieces that you have created up to this point?
Some of my most famous pieces. One of my favorite ones is a painting I did of this bar called Dirty Frank's downtown, and it's a huge painting on linen. It's about 9 feet by 7 feet, and it just captures the scene in this bar really good. It's like full of it's probably about like 30 different figures in the painting, and I really like to do paintings that you know, capture the whole atmosphere of places, and and I'm really good with the figurative work too.
All right, and talking about capturing atmosphere, I mean, this right here is probably one of the most classic atmospheres for us 80s and 90s babies. Can you tell us a little bit about this piece?
All right, yeah, the way this piece came about is that me and a few friends of mine, Don Scott and Ty Key, were doing a big art show together called House Party Art Show, and right when we figured that out, I knew I had to do, this scene just came to my head. It was one of my favorite scenes in the movie where they're doing the whole dance scene, and so I went and watched the movie, took a still of the movie, and just, you know, banged out this piece here, and you know, I really just wanted to try to catch the whole atmosphere of the movie. And I mean, anybody who's seen House Party, you know, would definitely know this painting when you see it.
Yeah. So can you tell us or explain to us the color scheme and even the kind of watercolors that you used for this piece?
Well, this piece actually is I pretty much started off with a whole blue background. I like to start off with a ground color, like not just a white canvas most of the time. So then that way you can still leave some of it showing through, like you don't have to, like this blue back here, some of the blue that's showing through, that was the whole color of the whole canvas at first. So then I just, from my image I had, I just sketched the whole thing out in blue paint. And I started off with acrylics. The whole thing was, I blocked the whole thing in with acrylics first. And then I actually went into it with oil paint and on the Kid and Play figures to make them stand out more. And yeah, and that's what we have. That's what I turned up with.
All right. So how long did it take you to make this particular piece of art?
This one I worked on it off and on for a few weeks. I can't remember exactly how many hours, but you know, sometimes when I'll work on some piece for a while, and when I get bored, I'll work on another piece, come back to it. And, yeah, I was there a few weeks.
My wink of the eye, tip of the glass today goes to everyone out there that is still going strong with their New Year's resolution. I know there are a lot of naysayers out there, but hey, you are trying to make a better you. So kudos to you for keeping it up this long. And as for those that have stopped,
Get up, you son of... Mickey loves you.
today I would like to red flag all of the fallout from the Bill Cosby scandals. Whatever happened to guilty until proven innocent America, How is it that Bill Cosby is being put through the ringer with no conviction to date, and Stephen Collins, who was allegedly caught on tape confessing to his child molestation, gets? Family, I'm going to start a hashtag today called Bring Back Our Cosby, because honestly, 12:05 on a Saturday night has been different since TV land has taken the Cosby Show off. I mean, we all love a little Cosby at night. No pun intended.